Hello and welcome to today's episode of Linking In with Louise. And this week for you, I have a solo episode. So I wanted to talk to you all about LinkedIn Live and LinkedIn Video. So in 2020, video is getting more and more prevalent on social media. And it's one of the reasons why it's such a good thing to do is because your audience can really connect with you when they see you on screen. So while podcasts are wonderful because you can listen to me when you're out and about, walking your dog, and maybe you're going somewhere in the car, when you are doing video, people are looking at you and interacting with you on screen. So it's a really good medium for building in that know, like, and trust factor. But before we get into the detail of using video on LinkedIn, I'd like to invite you to come and join my LinkedIn Learners Lab. This is my membership program for people who really want to get into LinkedIn, get to grips with their LinkedIn, but also they want access to pick your brain or pick my brain on a regular basis. So I do get people who send me messages on LinkedIn asking questions about how can I do this or how can I do that? And really, that's what the membership is all about. It's that you can come along twice a month, join in our group call and ask whatever questions you want. Also, you can put any questions at any point in time inside our membership group as well. But not just that, there are 6 different modules of training, of which there's probably 4 to 5 short bite-sized videos in every single module. And it covers everything from writing your LinkedIn profile, how to use messaging, how to do video, what kind of content works, literally creating content, and literally how do you write posts and content that get engagement and interaction with your audience. But more importantly than that, it's about using LinkedIn as a lead generation for your business. So having a clear strategy on, here's my LinkedIn profile, here's the kind of content I'm putting on LinkedIn, here's the network I'm going to build to help me grow my business, and bingo, here's how to get sales through putting all of this together and driving sales into your business, which is why we're using social media in the first place, is actually to find clients, customers, and grow our businesses. So if you want to come and check that out, go to socialbni.com/LinkedIn-learners-lab. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. We've got some lovely new members have just joined us recently, and lots of good engagement interaction in the group. And there's people in there from all over the world. We've got people from America, Canada, UK and Ireland. And we've even got an Australian in there. So you'd be very, very welcome to come and join us. And it's a lovely group. And that's the group that I'm really helping continually to learn how to use LinkedIn. Of course, not everybody wants to join a membership or be in a long-term program for their learning styles. And that's why I created my LinkedIn VIP intensives. These are blocks of 3 hours where when you sign up for it, we get absolutely stuck into, we start off with writing your LinkedIn profile. And what happens is when you sign up for this, I have a look at your existing profile ahead of our call. So I'm approaching the call ready to go. We start out by looking at your profile and optimizing it. Then we build out a content strategy plan, and we go over all the little things that help you to really turn LinkedIn from a platform that you may be popping on once or twice a week, or maybe you're putting content on there and you're not really getting any business as a result. Or maybe you've got a LinkedIn profile, but you've got no idea what to do with it, or you're a bit intimidated by it, which is, I hear that from my clients all the time, that they're just not entirely sure what to post, what works, and they're a wee bit fearful of using LinkedIn. So the LinkedIn Intensive is for people who are busy, highly productive, just want to get it sorted, done, move on. Off we go with my LinkedIn plan and strategy. If that sounds appealing to you, pop over to socialbni.com/LinkedIn VIP and let's have a chat about getting that intensive booked in. All right. Thank you for sticking with me, just letting you know, just basically want to let you know how you can work with me. But what about LinkedIn video then? So For listeners of the podcast, you will know that I have LinkedIn Live, which is the live streaming part of LinkedIn. This is something that you can get through application. So you need to apply for it, and there is a waiting list. I applied 4 times before I was successful with it. And I know that quite a few of my colleagues and listeners have applied and have heard nothing back. And I would urge you to apply again. Little tip for you if you're waiting on LinkedIn Live is don't wait around. Start creating videos and uploading them onto LinkedIn so that when the people who are reviewing your application go to your profile, they see that you are somebody who is already using video in your LinkedIn marketing. And that is going to give you a leg up in terms of moving forward with your application. So it's just a little tip. So let's talk about LinkedIn Live first, and then we can talk about LinkedIn Video. But how do you actually use LinkedIn Live? So once you get accepted to use it, you have to use a third-party application, by which I mean some other software. So I use StreamYard, and that's the only one I'm going to talk about because I don't have experience of the other softwares other people use. I use the paid version of StreamYard because I can brand it, and also I can download the recording afterwards and upload it into YouTube if I want. If you don't do this, you can't take your LinkedIn Live video from LinkedIn without using the paid version of the software to get it from LinkedIn to repurpose it elsewhere, okay? So StreamYard is a live streaming software. You can also stream onto YouTube or to Facebook with it, so it's definitely worth checking out. Go to StreamYard.com. So when you go to StreamYard, you click on Destinations and you add in your LinkedIn profile page. If you've applied to do LinkedIn Live as your company, then it's completely different. So you don't get to stream on your company page and your personal profile. You apply for one or the other. If you have it approved for your company page, then up to 3 admins on the company page have access to use the live streaming for LinkedIn Live. Whereas if you do it on your personal profile, it is just you, okay? Now, of course, you can bring on guests, and that's what I've been doing with my LinkedIn Live. And this week, because I don't have a guest on the podcast, I am going to push myself out of my comfort zone and go live on my own. So make sure that you can come and join me on Friday lunchtime and give me some support on that. That would be wonderful. Okay, so you choose your destination on StreamYard, and then you click on Create a Broadcast. You then, when a pop-up window appears and you select your LinkedIn profile from the options across the top. So you might have Facebook groups or Facebook personal profiles in there, or YouTube, and you have your LinkedIn one. Then add in a title and a description. The privacy is set to public. The title will appear when you have your live video on LinkedIn, but the description won't, so don't worry too much about that. For Facebook, that's completely different. You want to put in your description because it shows up as a scheduled post on your Facebook business profile, so it's totally different. Then you click Create Broadcast. At no point do you worry about accidentally broadcasting live because you have to click on the Go Live button in order to go live, okay? So you're still in setup mode. You can go in then, and on the right hand side of your screen you will see comments, banners, branding and private chat. And under banners, you can set up some questions in advance. So if somebody has sent you, so for example, you're listening to this podcast, and if you wanted to send me a question to answer on my LinkedIn Live this Friday, you could email it to me. I could write it as a banner post and click on that during my live video, and it would appear on the screen. Likewise, people who are watching the live video, if they comment, I can pull those comments up onto the screen as well. So it's really handy. And it means that people can interact with you and engage with you. Now, top tips for using LinkedIn Live. LinkedIn Live suggests that you stream for at least 10 to 15 minutes to get a bit of traction with your followers. So make sure that you plan out in advance what you're going to say, because if you get on LinkedIn Live and you haven't really planned out the content you're going to talk about, 10 minutes is quite a long time. The maximum time you can stream live onto LinkedIn is 4 hours. I'm not sure people would watch you for 4 hours, to be quite honest, but it'd be an interesting experiment to try. Do encourage your viewers to interact and ask questions. LinkedIn suggests you don't go live on LinkedIn more than once a day. They ask that you don't use it to promote or sell. So with all of my content, my goal is to provide value to my audience. So while I could have a banner along the bottom that invites people to check out my LinkedIn Learners Lab, that is fine. You're also allowed to have, if you have a sponsor, you're allowed to have imagery in the background that's connected to your sponsor, but they ask you not to be too large. So I think you just really use a bit of sensible discretion here. I record my LinkedIn Lives in front of my bookcase, and on my bookcase I've got my LinkedIn mug and the big goodie box that LinkedIn sent me a few months ago as my branding, if you like. And it just, I just like having that behind me in my video. And I also have my books, all the books that I've bought, business books that I've bought. So that's another tip. When you're going live on LinkedIn, make sure you've thought about how you look and what's behind you, what's in the imagery that you have. If you are at home with your family, let them know that you're going to be going live and ask them not to disturb you. Twice so far, I think I've done this 5 times now, and twice the dog has pushed the door open and walked in, but he's very quiet, which is good. It just distracts me. So try and set up the household that no one's going to actually come in while you're going live. Be consistent with your live streaming. So I have decided that it's going to be Friday lunchtimes for me for now. That might change in the future, but it means that I now have an audience who are expecting that, and they're turning up on Fridays, which is wonderful. So if you are one of those people, thank you so much, because I really, really appreciate the support. And it's wonderful to see the same people appearing each week. If someone comes along to your LinkedIn Live and leaves a comment, pull their comment up on stage, up on screen, not on stage, on screen, as a bit of a thank you for actually going to the bother of turning up live and interacting with you. You can't see who's watching you unless they comment. That's another thing. And actually on StreamYard, I don't think you can see how many people are watching you either. So you don't really know how many views you've had until after you're finished, which is a little bit off-putting, but that's okay. And LinkedIn asks you not to talk about how to use LinkedIn on your LinkedIn live stream, which is absolutely fine if you are a career coach or a business coach. I am not. I am a LinkedIn consultant. I teach people how to use LinkedIn. So I have to be quite creative in what I talk about on my LinkedIn live videos, because I'm literally have been asked not to teach people how to use LinkedIn on my LinkedIn Lives, which is really what my entire business is based on. So it has been a good challenge to create a show each week that doesn't involve me talking specifically about using LinkedIn. Okay, so after you've finished your video, go back into the post that the video is. So it shows as a post. So when you go to LinkedIn, you've got articles, posts, and documents. And the video shows under posts. So go in and make sure that you've responded to all the people who've commented with a typed comment as well, because it helps with the video being pushed out to more people, but also it's just nice. It's just the polite thing to do, to comment on somebody's interaction with your video. What do you talk about on a live video, or on, in fact, any video? Ask your audience. So I have a brilliant book called Ask Your Audience by Marcus Sheridan. Highly recommend getting a copy of it and going through it. It's really about understanding how to come up with content that your audience are interested in, but more importantly, leads to you growing your know, like, and trust factor, and leads to you getting business. So I did a poll on LinkedIn and asked my audience what would they like to see on my LinkedIn Lives, and here's the results. So we had 60 votes. 47% of people said they'd like to know how to win clients in business, 20% how to raise their profile, 32% how to become a thought leader. There was 2% that clicked other, and I can't remember what they said in the comments. So apologies, but you can go and look at that poll yourself. So ask your audience what they'd actually like to hear from you. And that's the first thing. So create content that your audience are actually interested in. Then create some interest ahead of going live. So for example, I now use my podcast topic that comes out on a Wednesday for the LinkedIn